little eccentricities and physical character quirks, like the way Amuro bites his thumbnail or Char clasps his hands. Makes it so much better than most modern Gundam works. Then I talked about new types, which I think Aw, but it was such a good video. Shut up! You know you love them. And just what have you been up to? You disappear for months at a time now. I may peruse them in between naps. They won't let me anymore. There was some unpleasantness. Big fight over who the best English dub voice of Lupin III is. It's clearly Tony Oliver, though. Somebody had the nerve to say it's Sonny Strait. Imagine that. Imagine preferring Strait to Oliver. It's ridiculous. That I do. Welcome to Dezaki Month here on Otaku Evolution. And speaking of Lupin, and Sonny Strait I guess, let's take a look at Pursuit of Harimao's Treasure. I know it wasn't too long ago that I tackled Lupin III, again, and I even tackled an Osamu Dezaki Lupin feature some time back. But I wanted to do a whole month of Dezaki anime and figured it wouldn't hurt to wander into familiar territory again. I'll be covering Blackjack and Golgo again, so I may as well just completely throw in with past subjects. And Lupin has such a wide variety of features, at least until they all started running together in the early aughts. Fortunately, recent years have redeemed the franchise, but the new features are a little too new to review on this show right now. So, getting back into the Funimation catalog of licensed Lupin features, we'll be looking at this 1995 TV special that was the first one that aired since the passing of the long-running Lupin voice actor Yasuo Yamada. If you watch the Japanese version, Kenichi Kurita is clearly still finding his Lupin voice, and was for some time after this. But as I review with the English dub, everybody's favorite Mondo Cool voice actor takes the lead. I'll try not to get overexcited. Pursuit of Harimao's Treasure is standard Lupin TV special fare in pretty much every category, from story to characters to villains, making it fairly unremarkable on paper. However, I think what elevates it over, say, the Columbus Files or any number of non-Dezaki TV specials that just plain suck or make no impression are the director's famous trademarks. Well, that and some pretty decent action. Lupin and Jigen are after the famed treasure of a bandit known as Harimao, but have to retrieve 3 statues that serve as the key to his riches. However, they have to contend with a man named Sir Archer, a famed retired secret agent that apparently served as the inspiration for many a fictional secret agent. Wait a minute. Archer? Secret agent?
I am the best at this, Rain Man, okay? I'm like,
James Bond?
Well, I don't like to invite that comparison, but yeah, basically.
Archer needs to find the treasure because he insures the Eurotunnel, but it gets destroyed, nearly drowning old Zenigata in the process, which means he'll need to pay out big time. He and his granddaughter vie for the statues themselves, while Fujiko straddles the fence between them and Lupin. Complicating things further are a band of Nazis led by a deranged cross-dresser who hates women and commands a colossal henchman who uses Lupin as a punching bag.
Nazis. I hate these guys.
And of course, Lupin is just wild about Archer's granddaughter Diana, hoping to warm her icy exterior. Possibly by groping that exterior. Or posterior. Lupin loves all the pretty ladies, but it's the feisty ones that make him the grabbiest. And as usual, he gets the same response. Oh, and Goemon is also in this, for some reason. He does nothing, but he's there. I guess since the previous TV special was all about him, they made him a walking cameo in this one. I've said it before and I'll say it again, if you're going to utilize the entire Lupin gang for a feature, you had better give them something to do. In the defense of the production staff, utilizing just the right amount of Goemon is super difficult because of his incredible abilities. If he's there but does nothing, you wonder why he's there at all, but if he does too much, you lack tension because Goemon can do pretty much everything. I love my boy Goemon, but he's OP as fuck. Still, they managed to give Pop some good scenes, despite him not figuring too much into the plot either.
Now don't rush. You gotta wait 3 minutes for the best flavor. The only difference between a good noodle and a bad noodle is time.
Naturally, Diana is another feature-independent Lupin lady, or Phil, but she's one of the more tolerable examples of it, because she isn't given a secret pass, nor does she have a private vendetta to settle, or dies tragically herself. She doesn't have two different colored eyes, she's not madly in love with Lupin or in need of his guidance, and she's competent without outshining the main cast. She's given just enough personality to justify her inclusion in the movie, no more, and while she's not some amazing breakout character, she's not a chore to watch either. So good on Dezaki and the rest for crafting one of the more likable Phils. Come to think of it, all of Dezaki's Phils are pretty decent. Maria from the Hemingway Papers is a good one too, even if she does have that mysterious past/vendetta thing going for her. She just has a solid enough personality to avoid cliché. I wish more of the movie-only characters would take the Dezaki route. I'll take 1,000,000 Dianas and Marias to one Rosaria. As for Archer...
And I never got my swan-shaped towels.
I can't see, you fool! Get off!
I am getting off. I love this.
Sir Archer certainly does more in this movie than Goemon is allowed to, serving as a rival to Lupin at first and then a partner when they're beset by the Nazis. He's clever and resourceful enough to give Lupin a run for his money, having experienced many of the same thrills and gained many of the same skills as our favorite thief. He may be out of the game too long to realize he's being played by both Fujiko and his lawyer, who is secretly the notorious hermaphrodite. Ugh. But he's otherwise a sharp, fairly good-natured soul.
Don't you replace me while I'm away.
Look who's talking, you amorous dog, you.
Oh, aren't you the cute one? Wow.
I do think it's kind of weird and disappointing that this guy who's supposed to essentially be James Bond doesn't use any of the neat gadgets you would associate with the character. He has that museum of cool stuff, but never uses any of it. Sure, he has a submarine, that's cool, but it's not like it's a car that turns into a submarine. Lupin has cooler toys than this guy. Well, I do normally prefer Bond movies that aren't as gadget-reliant, but when you're in a Lupin III special, you'd better give us some fucking rocket skis, my friend. Less Skyfall and more The Spy Who Loved Me, please. Quick aside, Michael Fassbender should be the next Bond. But Tom Hardy would work too, I guess. One of the scenes I especially enjoy in this feature happens during the usual treasure trouse rigmarole you get in many Lupin movies. Lupin actually stumbles onto a giant number slide puzzle. I don't know whether to applaud this seemingly self-aware bit that just throws in a common children's game as an obstacle in a treasure hunt, or roll my eyes at the sheer stupidity of whomever set that up in-universe. Another noteworthy scene takes place when Lupin, Jigen, Archer, and Diana make their way through Thailand to find the last statue and have to pass a soldier checkpoint.
Oh, yeah! They're all in Japanese, but the commander seems to like them anyway.
Take what you will, man!
Also, maybe I'm reading too much into things, but I get this weird subtext to the relationship that Sir Archer had with Harimao, given the way some flashback scenes are composed. They become very close very quickly, and Archer is the only person the dying bandit will give his secret to. I don't know, maybe I'm spending too much time on Tumblr, but wouldn't it be so fitting that Archer is a closet bisexual who just never spoke about this because of the times the affair happened in?
First time for everything. Yes.
What makes you think this is my first time?
Oh, Mr. Bond.
I don't know, it makes me think that's why Archer is so stubborn about not revealing the secret directly to Lupin. Not to mention Archer's actions in the finale, which I won't spoil in case you're curious enough to watch this. But two guys can be plenty platonically close, so I might just be extrapolating based on a misinterpretation. It helps when I'm trying to avoid the subject of hermaphrodite. Ugh, come on, Japan. This is just... wow. Nope. This character is all kinds of nope. Just look at him. Her. They. Whatever the fuck pronoun is appropriate for this garish caricature of... I'm not really sure what they're going for. I mean, I guess they're not casting his cross-dressing as bad in and of itself, but the fact that he's clearly deeply misogynist on top of that, instead of just being a bad guy who happens to cross-dress, leads me to assess this villain as... well... this is the Lupin franchise. I feel like the misogynist Nazi villain has a potential for a current events political joke, but you'll have to fill that in yourself, folks. I'm just reviewing an anime here. Meanwhile, what's the deal with Fujiko teaming up with Nazis? Yeah, I know it's Fujiko. She wants to play all the sides against the middle and exploit whatever she can to get the treasure. But come on, it's Nazis for fuck's sake! And I'm especially ashamed of you, Goemon, because you team up with them too, and just because Lupin wouldn't pay you enough. That's low. Shit, even the Nazi leader has the sense to only pretend to team up with traitors. The Nazi is more honorable than Fujiko and Goemon in this feature. The bile rises up in me, folks. But yes, it is in fact okay to punch a Nazi, according to Lupin. Though said Nazi was actually trying to kill him and not barking about vague internet memes on a street corner. And shit, I'm getting political now, sorry. If fuck Nazis is a controversial political statement to you, though, maybe your vaunted egalitarianism is more like humble bragging self-interest. Speaking of Nazis, I love Lupin's encounters with this giant one who looks like Lieutenant Surge. The first time, he just curb stomps our hero. Lupin isn't the greatest at hand-to-hand combat. He's a pistol and gadgets guy. The second time, Lupin does better, fooling the gargantuan Gestapo, dodging his blows and crashing his copter. The third time, Lupin takes advantage of gravity, and if that guy survived, he's going to wish he hadn't. That's the kind of opponent you usually see Goemon take on, since he's the most physically threatening of the Lupin gang. I do kind of like the change-up, but then it also means even less for Goemon to do. Why is he in this? Without Surge, Transvestite folds pretty easily, and Pops at least gets a capture even if it isn't Lupin. But whenever you can arrest a Nazi, that's a pretty good day. I'd probably retire after that. Though I don't think Zenigata can afford to. Speaking of people who can't afford things, the Eurotunnel's still destroyed and Diana is left with the bill. Guess she'll have to sell off the flying cars and laser watches. Probably should have pocketed some of that treasure. And that's Pursuit of Harimao's Treasure, a fairly by-the-numbers Lupin III TV special with a little dash of Dezaki flavoring that helps it stand out just a little more than the usual. I wouldn't rank it among the greats like Episode 0 First Contact, but it doesn't sink to the bottom with crap like Princess of the Breeze either. Next time I cover Lupin, I'll be sure to pick an exceptionally good entry. But next time on Otaku Evolution, I've got an appointment with the doctor. Blackjack. Until then, see ya! By the way, Pen Pen, what was that secret mission you were on? Oh, that guy. I haven't seen him in a while, though. Have you located him? Psh, where am I gonna go?